Hey YouTube, today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to tint your thermal beads or your temp tooth. The two methods I found that worked for me are these two products right here, and it doesn't have to be these exact products, but the best one that worked out is this Lipton black tea. And also just some generic coffee. I'm pretty sure if you use like black dark coffee, it would work better and faster. But depending on how dark of a tint you need your teeth, you're gonna have to do this multiple times. If you need it, kind of dark or a little darker than usual, then you're gonna have to warm up the water, put the tea in. Put the tooth in, take it out, let it dry, and repeat that process. Put the tooth in again, let it dry, and you're gonna have to keep warming up the water to keep it hot, so then the tooth melts when it goes into the water. So let me go ahead and show you how I do this process. Alright guys, so before I show you the process, I want to show you the results you can get when tinting the teas with black tea or coffee. This left one right here, I used the black tea, and I used hot water and cold water. Like I said before, the hot water, you get more results when you dip it in hot water. The middle one is the control. There's nothing done to it. That's how it comes when you make a tooth. That's how white it is. And the right one, I used coffee. I used coffee twice on this one, so that's why I'd say it's about the same tint as the black tea. But like I said, if you need to get it darker than this, you're gonna have to repeat the process, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the process of how it's done. Alright, so the first step, we're just gonna put, I already put some water. Just gonna put some water in there, and you want to put your microwave on high and set it in for about a minute. So let me go ahead and do that and come back. Okay, so I have my hot water. I'm gonna go ahead and use the black Lipton tea. I'm gonna make sure I squeeze the bag to get the water as dark as I can. Alright, so now I'm gonna go ahead and take the tea bag out. And one thing I learned while doing this is you want to make sure you make your tooth before you put it in there, because if you put your beads in there separately, they might fall into the bottom and then you can't find them. So it's better just to make your tooth. You're gonna have to reshape it again once it dry, or you're gonna have to reshape it into your mouth once you get the tint that you want. But yeah, make sure you make it, and let's go ahead and put it onto the spoon and then drop it in there slowly. Alright guys, I let the water cool down too fast. It needs to be, really hot. And what you want to make sure is that it turns clear in the water, okay? So we want to make sure that the thermal beads completely melt and there's no white showing, it's completely clear. So that's how hot we need the water. As you can see, it's turning clear, and that's what we want. We want it to melt inside the tea, so then we could get that tint when it dries up. Alright, so this is what we want it to look like. We want it clear. So leave it in a little longer. And what you could do, if it sticks to the spoon, you could just put it underneath the faucet and just put a little bit of cold water on it, and it won't stick to the spoon. Alright, so we want to take it off now. And we're going to let it dry. Now you could do one of two things. You should probably shape it to your mouth, so then it's shaped, and let it dry, just like we did in the tutorial and the other videos. So then when it dries, it'll fit onto your tooth. You don't have to do it. You could just wait till it dries and see if it gets you the tint that you need to match your other teeth, and then you could just you know, put it in just plain hot water to reshape it back into your mouth. All right, so let me go ahead and let this tooth dry, and then we'll compare to the normal beads. Okay. All right, guys. So here are the results. The left one is normal. That's how it comes out after you make the tooth. And the right one, I used the black tea. So as you can see, there's a tint difference. Okay. So that's and that's only one doing it one time. If you need it darker, you can, you know, repeat the process and you could get it darker than that. And also, if you don't need it that dark, then you might want to use less tea. Just put the tea bag in just for a little bit and take it right out if you don't need it that dark. But that's how it's done, guys. If you have any questions, comment down below and I'll get back to you and comment back as soon as I can.